Stamp Gang? Sharde here. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a hot minute since I have sat down before you for anything, so I'm glad to be back in front of the space, doing the things, giving a little self-care and wellness. You know how we do around here. At any rate, if you are new to my little bit of the internet, welcome. I'm Sharde. I am a travel and wellness vlogger. I show you how to travel smarter, pack lighter, and search deeper within yourself. Now, I post videos every week at the end of the week, so make sure whether you are new or you keep coming back and watching my videos to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, join my internet family, and continue to grow with me, because I'm still on the journey to growing to my first 1,000 subscribers. So we're still at it, and that's gonna happen when it happens. But I thank you to all my new and OG subscribers. I see you, I see the numbers ticking up, so thank you so much for your support. It means the absolute world to me. So I did want to come and talk to you a little bit about aging, because your girl is getting older. Now, I am going to be 31 this year, and I have no qualms about saying that I'm going to be 31, because let's face it, I still have a baby face, so I don't quite look 31, but I am indeed on the other side of my 20s. And last year, if you've been following me for a while, was my 30th birthday, and I did it kind of big for my 30th birthday. I went to Bali, and I spent my 30th birthday in Bali with one of my besties, Kia, who you've seen in a couple of my other vlogs, and I will put them up around here, so that you can see us in all of our shenanigan-filled glory. But I have found that for me, getting to 30 was not scary. I know that there's a lot of stigma behind getting older, especially going from 20s to 30s, and that it can be really anxiety inducing, because if you're going into your 30s, especially if you have not gotten where you thought you'd be, like myself, or have done some of the things that other people have done that are markers of like success in adulthood, like having a house, or a career, or children, or getting married, all of those things, you can feel a little bit lost and panicked by the thought of becoming 30. And for me, I had some anxieties as far as where I thought I'd be versus where I am, but I was mostly excited about turning 30, excited about going into a different phase of life, and it was because of some of the conversations that I had with some of my friends who are a little bit older than me, especially my friend Andy, who she and I share the same birthday, but she is 4 years older than I am. So she's like me in the future, because we have the exact same personality. I swear we could be twins. But like I said, she's a few years older than me. And she and one of my schoolmates, Jessica, who was also a few years older than me, were both lauding how good it was to get to your 30s, that somewhere between 30 and 32 the lights came on. And that's exactly what they told me. Like, things change, the game is different when you turn 30. So that was something that I was really looking forward to, because my 20s were wrought with emotions and tension, and like I did a lot of changing. You do a lot of growing. There are a lot of growing pains in your 20s. Like, I would never go back to my 20s, because the person I was then, especially, and I'm thinking particularly of my early 20s, I would not want to go back to that. Like, I was emotionally a mess. As far as being secure in myself, I was even worse than I am now. I was just totally different. And maybe I'll make a video about how I survived my 20s. So if you want to see something like that, let me know in the comments section if that's something you're interested in. But I approached my 30s and I reflected on it a lot. And in the last year, I have been enjoying being 30 because it brings with it a few things. Definitely, I'm becoming more at home in my body, more at home in myself, finding joy and acceptance and value inside, not from without. That's been a big thing. And then boundaries look so different in your 30s. Like, you just start to discover the value of time, and that it's limited, it's currency, and you begin to think about boundaries and what you will and will not take from people. And that is so important. Like, once you do that, the world opens up, because you quickly start shutting down folks and their BS. Like, you realize what you do and do not have to carry. So those are like just a couple of things that I've experienced personally. But if you are in your 20s, or even if you're in your teens about to go to college, or you're coming up on the 30th birthday this year or in the next couple of years, and you're starting to feel some anxiety about that, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I think will help turning 30 seem, or just aging in general, seem less anxiety inducing and less scary. Number 1, I would say, is that life doesn't end because you get older. Part of the challenge with the kind of society we live in is that there's a value in youth because of productivity. Like, when you're young, you're supposed to be able to do more, you're supposed to have more energy, you're more attractive because you're young, things like that. But life doesn't end after your 20s. It just really doesn't. For me, life is starting to open up more on the other side of my 20s, because my 20s were a lot of soul searching, a lot of me trying to figure things out, figuring out how to be an adult, what that looks like. Is there a right and wrong way of doing it? What do I want to do with myself? Like, I'm still trying to figure that out. But, life is still stretched before you, and we all have a finite number of days. It just depends on how you choose to spend it. But there are still so many experiences to be had. There's still so much joy, so much fun, so many adventures to be had as you get older, that you shouldn't mourn the loss of youth by societal standards. Like, part of it is you're as young as you feel. Yeah, your body ages. That's a real thing. Like, things hurt that didn't used to hurt. I got to slow down. and so you learn about those sorts of things. Your body does change, but the turn up is even different. Like, I don't go out and party in the same way that I used to, mostly because I am even more of an introvert and less of a peopler than I was in my early 20s. I just don't have it these days. But things just look different. That doesn't mean that it's bad or like life is over. That just means you're evolving, which is super cool to me. The second thing that I will say, and I kind of alluded to it, is that you don't have to have everything figured out. I think part of the trap of aging and becoming an adult is people feeling like they have to have everything figured out. And the truth is, you don't. I'm still not sure what life is gonna look like, and life has not panned out the way that I thought it would. Like, I never thought I was going to be making videos on YouTube and starting a blog at 28 years old, or traveling as much as I do. Like, I didn't see that for myself. Like, I enjoy traveling, but I didn't actually think I would start using the internet as a platform to share my travels. Like, that wasn't where I thought I'd be. I also didn't think I was going to be pursuing a PhD. So, here we are. And that's what I've been saying a lot. It's like, no, that wasn't in the plan, but here we are. So, yeah, you don't have to have it figured out. You may not get it figured out till your late 30s, till your early 40s. Like, one of my favorite things that I have read and taken in is just how some people who are vastly successful started it later in life, and that sometimes living life pushes you into your destiny. And sometimes that doesn't come to you early. It doesn't come to you in your 20s or your teens and you just know and have it all planned out. That sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes you get to a point where you've had a career, you've had a family, and you start doing things later. Like Toni Morrison, who's one of my favorite authors, she didn't start writing until her 40s. She is a bestseller. She's won Pulitzers. She is a Nobel Peace Laureate, and she did not start writing till her 40s, which is so encouraging. So it means you don't have to have it figured out now. You don't have to feel like you started too late. Whenever you start is the right time, because you can still make something out of it. So that's super important as you age, is that, you know, it's not too late. Life doesn't end. You don't have to have it all figured out. Shoot, you don't figure it out till later, like as life happens to you sometimes. The third thing that I think is really great about aging is that you can take a step back and really start thinking about who you are, what you want to portray out in the world, and like your style and things like that. I've found that and thank God, my dress style is not the same as it was when I was in my early 20s or even my mid 20s, because I had different things. Like I was trying to dress to impress men. I would go out, I would wear the short skirt, you know, I wear something tight, you know, things like that to try to get attention and, you know, all those things. But some things have totally stayed the same. Like I am my most comfortable in like jeans or leggings and a t-shirt and overalls. And I'm doing more and wearing more of the things that make me happy. Like I've gone back to sort of a minimal color palette. Like I'm doing a lot of black, white, and gray with hints of green or of mustard, like things like that. Instead of trying to keep up with fashion trends, I'm just going on classic things that make me happy. And I've also done a lot of soul searching as far as who do I want to be? What is it I see myself as, like just generally? How do I show up as that person? And that has been super cool. Like I think my 30s have made me really start thinking about how do I live for me? How do I make myself happy? And that's something my grandmother used to tell me a lot, is at the end of the day, you have to make yourself happy. Nobody else can do it. And I think aging and the wisdom of aging and experience and living leads you to start thinking about, who do I want to be? What in life gives me joy? How do I navigate the world around me and find meaning? So these are all things to think about. Like getting to 30 has been bomb so far. Like I'm enjoying it. And I hope that if you are turning 30 this year, that you know, take the time to reflect and do so in joy. Don't be panicked by it. It's gonna be good. Let me know, how are you guys feeling about getting older? Let me know in the comment section. I really want to know what you guys are thinking, what you guys are feeling. As always, friends, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.